Hey guys, this is week 32 of my series titled 52 Weeks of Reaper. Every week for 52 weeks, I'll be releasing a new video focusing on a key feature in Reaper. So let's jump right in. So for this week, our topic and our focus will be on screen layouts and screen sets. So I touched on it briefly last week in last week's video, and we're gonna dive a little bit deeper. So I'm gonna try to do this as quickly as possible. I don't wanna dive too deep into it. There are other videos on the internet about it if you want more of an intricate, detailed, slower video. But essentially, you can pretty much tailor the windows how you want them to be on the screen. If you want them floating, if you want them docked at the top, at the bottom, left, right, you can go crazy. So just about any window that you open in Reaper, there's an option to float it and or dock it. And then once you dock it, you can move it around. So right now, let's go to where I like to start with Reaper. So right now I have just the arrangement window pretty much open here. And on my second monitor that you cannot see, I have my mixer open full screen. And that's usually where I like to be most times. But sometimes we want to have things more compact. We don't have two screens and we got to move them around. So I just detached my monitor from that screen, brought it over here, and we can have it floating like this if we want to. I can resize it down like this and have it just floating here if I want to. And when I leave it in this position, I can save that as a screen set, which we'll look at in a minute. But I can leave it exactly like this and exactly the way you want it. That's where you have to leave it. And once you save it as a screen set, it will be like this when you recall it. But we can take this a step further and we can right click on the top like I showed you last week with the other window. Right click, and at the bottom there's an option that says dock mixer in Docker. So once I hit that, it's gonna automatically dock it. So right now it docked it to the side, and because that's not what I want, I'm gonna grab this separator, open it out so that I can see this tab over here in this bottom corner that says mixer. I'm gonna hold control and I'm gonna drag it so that I can put it at the bottom. So hold control, click this tab, and I'm gonna drag it and essentially tear it off. And I'm gonna hold it right when I see this blue area right here appearing. If I stick it here, it's gonna just stick it in between here. That's not what I want. I want it actually right here. So when I see that blue line, I let it go. So now we have the mixer here and we actually have the transport bar to the side of that, which is not what I want. So what I can do is, if you look at the bottom, we have a tab here for transport bar, and over here we have a tab for the mixer. So this is a look that I could go for, but I don't want that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to close the transport bar by just clicking the X right here on this tab. And then now I have the mixer right across the bottom. So I have my arrangement screen up here. I have my TCP over here, my track control panel, and then I have my mixer or my MCP, mixed control panel, down here at the bottom. And I can go right here and pull it up how tall I want it or how short I want it. I can adjust these areas here based on what I want to see. Move this up, hold control to move all the tracks up uniformly. So I see less plugins. So I can just keep adjusting till I get it the way I want to see it. Once I got it to the way I want to see it, I can save this as a screen set. So you can do that with just about any floating window. Once again, I can actually go to the view menu up here and go to, let's see, what am I gonna open? I want the Media Explorer. Here we go. So select the Media Explorer, and it automatically popped up on this side here. So once again, it's to the left of the mixer. This is not what I want. So I'm gonna hold Control. I'm gonna go right back to the tab down here that says Media Explorer. Hold Control, click, and I'm gonna drag it all the way to the side of the screen here. I see that blue line, let it go. And this is the look that I'm going for. So I want my Media Explorer on the side. I want my arrangement screen over here in the middle. I want my TCP over here. And then I want my mixer down here. So if I like this layout, I can now save that. And to save it, what I would do is I would go up to View, and we're gonna come down here to where it says Screensets Layout. Keyboard shortcut is Control E. And just like every other window, I can actually dock this window. Well, we're not gonna do that, we're gonna keep it floating. But here we have tabs, Windows, Track View, Section Sets, Layouts. But today we're just talking about Windows. And if you see, I already have some of my presets here. They give you 10 slots. Hopefully soon they'll open up more slots, but 10 should be enough for now. I already have some pre-arranged window sets that I have saved here. So you can actually add more, give them a name, and you can actually add keyboard shortcuts to them if you would like. They show you the keyboard shortcuts to save changes. So you can actually go to an existing screenset layout and you can make changes and then save the changes, or highlight a new slot, hit save, and then I can save that layout that I currently have as a new screen set. If I have plugins open floating, it's gonna open the same way with the plugin window open that way. So you lay out everything exactly the way you want it. And then when you're ready, you can open this window by hitting Control E. And once again, you can highlight a blank slot, hit save, and then it'll ask you to give it a name. You give it a name, and then once it appears here, you can add a keyboard shortcut for that. So you can have keyboard shortcuts for your screen sets, and you can switch that way. So the sky's the limit to how you work and how you want to set up your different screen sets. You give them names based on what is sensible to you. So I have this one here, which puts the inspector style on one side with my master track, and whatever track I select will show up over here. Then if I hold Alt and F7, those are the keyboard shortcuts I selected, I get a variation of that with the inspector on one side and my plugin picker on the other side. Then if I hit F8, these are keyboard shortcuts that I chose. This is not default. That's my default, where I have my setup over here with just my arrangement window and the TCP, and my mixer is on my other screen that you can't see, full screen. And then my Alt F8 will give me this layout with the mixer at the bottom, TCP over here, and my arrangement view over here. Do I have any more? Let's see, did I do F9? Yes, I did. And F9 is a variation that has my mixer back over on my other monitor. And that's pretty much it for now. I can go in, Control E, and I can add more and set up keyboard shortcuts if I so desire. So the sky's the limit. Any window that you bring up that you can float, like my plugin picker, you can right click up top, and near the bottom you usually find the option to dock the window in the Docker, and then once you have it in the Docker, there'll be those tabs. You can grab those tabs while holding control to drag them to the top, the left, the right, the bottom. They could be top split half and half. It could be bottom split half and half. Like you saw what was happening every time I added something. I had the browser on one side and then I had the mixer and it was sharing half and half. Then you can tear that away and move it where you want to, close one out. Sky's the limit. You can put them on top of each other. So I think, let's see if I can do this. I think I can move the, let's see if I can stick something in between these in the middle here. So let's open this plugin window. Gonna right click, go to Dock Effect Browser in Docker. It docked it over here on the left side. So we're gonna open this up so we can see that tab. I'm gonna hold control and drag it and bring it to the top, let it go. So now we have our effect browser up top. We have the arrange window in the middle here, and we have our mixer at the bottom. So you can really get creative with your layout based on what windows you want to see where. And of course, Reaper has a ton of different windows. So any windows that you open that are floating and are docking, you'll know how to undock it and move it where you want to, or dock it and get your layout the way you want. And now you know how to go in and to set up the different screen sets, assign keyboard shortcuts, and you can switch quickly, dynamically, based on what you are doing. So start thinking about which layout might work for you based on what you're doing. If you're audio editing, you're MIDI editing, you're writing MIDI, you're pitch correcting, mixing, mastering, what layout is best for you. Personally, what I would love to see Reaper do, this was something that Cubase and Nuendo had. I don't know if they still have it, but they had the option of opening 4 independent mixer windows. So when you first open them, they all look exactly the same. So if you had 16 audio tracks with 4 buses, they're all gonna open the same, but they would be called Mixer 1, Mixer 2, Mixer 3, Mixer 4. And for Mixer 1, you can now tell it to hide all the buses and just show me the regular channels. And then on Mixer 2, you can say hide the regular channels and just show me my auxiliary buses. And then I would use the other 2 in different ways where I could just hide all the other instruments and just have this be all my drum tracks on this mixer, and then the other mixer would just have all the other instruments. I would love to see that, but that's not available in Reaper. You just have one mixer view that opens up and you can hide and show different things. But that's just a little rant about something else. But the Reaper screen sets and the modularity of the screen is a very cool feature to have. And they have some DAWs that do it. So a lot of them are not as flexible. This is very flexible because you can literally move it just about wherever you want. And then after you move it there, the beauty is you can save it as a screen set and you can recall it later, add a keyboard shortcut to recall it. The different ways you want to trigger it, you can based on some of the things I've showed you in the past. But one of the ways to trigger it is you can set up keyboard shortcuts. So that's pretty much it for the video, guys. Cool feature, very flexible. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. And as always, you'll see me in the next video.